Hey everyone, it's Heather Nichols, and today I'm going to share how I created this dreamy mini slim card. It all starts with the mini slim Prism Stencil. I'll be holding that stencil in place on my project with pixie spray. I'll add color to my project with my bitty blender brushes, and the ink colors that I'll be using are Lavender Glaze, Mint Julep, and Confetti Cake. In my Simple Storage for Simple Strips, I've got the Simple Strips Friendship Set. I'll be using a sentiment from that. I'll also be using letters that I cut out with the Cap It Off Alpha Die collection. I'm adding sparkle with the Happy Medium Iridescent Glitter, and I'm using my Nuvo Media Spatula to apply that. For extra adhesives, I've got sticky sheets and foam sticky strips, and then I'll use Multimedia Matte to apply Bits and Pieces Rainbow Rhinestones. To get started, I have a piece of sugar cube cardstock that I have cut to mini slim size, which is 3.5 by 6 inches, and I'm going to add a blended background down the card. I'm doing stripes of color using Mint Julep, Confetti Cake, and Lavender Glaze inks. Because I'm doing thin stripes, the bitty blender brushes are perfect for having better control over where my color is going. If your colors are appearing blotchy, like you can see that mine definitely do, give the inks just a few moments and they will keep moving after you're done blending and create that smooth blend. Once my background blend is done, I'm going to be using the Mini Slim Prism Stencil to add a stencil design in the same colors that I used for the background blend. I've got pixie spray on the back of my stencil to hold it in place, and I'll layer that right over the top of the background, and then I'm using my bitty blender brushes and I'm stenciling the same colors through the stencil that I did on the background. So over the lavender glaze area, I'm adding lavender glaze ink. Over the mint julep area, I'm adding mint julep ink, and over the confetti cake area I'm adding confetti cake ink. I'm taking a quick peek to see what that looks like, but I'm also going to lay that stencil right back down because now I'm going to add a layer of the Happy Medium Iridescent Glitter over the top. I did use a paper towel to do a quick wipe across my stencil to get rid of any extra ink residue, and then I'm using my Nuvo Media Spatula to apply the Happy Medium Iridescent Glitter. I'm scraping the Happy Medium across the stencil and making sure that all of the stencil openings are filled. When I've got the Happy Medium all applied, I'll peel off the stencil and you'll get a peek at what the design looks like. Now this needs to dry completely, and Happy Medium takes about a minimum of an hour to completely dry. While the Happy Medium is drying, I'm going to work on the sentiment for my card. I'm spelling out the word dream, and I'm using the Cap It Off Alpha Die collection. I'm cutting the letters out of sugar cube cardstock that I've backed with a sticky sheet. That way I won't need to worry about applying adhesive to my letters later. I trim the cardstock down to fit through my Sidekick machine, and then cut out all of the letters to spell the word dream. Now my background is also dry, and I trimmed about 1/8 inch off that bottom edge so that a peak of that toffee cardstock base will show. And now I'm going to use a ruler to line the letters up onto the background. The Cap It Off Alpha letters have an outline shape as well as an inset shape, and I'm leaving the pieces together so that the letters hold their shape as I am arranging them on the card. The ruler I'm using is the MISTI Cut-A-Line ruler, and it has a centering mark, so I can make sure that the first and last letters are equally distant from the sides of the card, and then arrange all of the letters in between to make sure everything is evenly spaced out. I did decide my letters were set just a little too low, so I used the ruler to reset them just a touch higher. Once the letters were all set exactly where I wanted them to go, I used a die pick to take out the insets of the letters. To go along with the word dream, I'm using a sentiment strip that was stamped with the Simple Strips Friendship stamp, and I have this in my Simple Storage for Simple Strips. I stamped it a while ago, and now it's perfect to use on this particular project, and it's ready to go. I'm using a tape runner to adhere the background panel to the Toffee Mini Slim card base, and then I'll use a foam sticky strip to add the Let Your Light Shine sentiment strip underneath the dream word. My final touch to this card is a sprinkling of rhinestones across the word dream. I pulled out the purple, turquoise, and green rhinestones from the Bits and Pieces Rainbow Rhinestones pack, and I added the colors where the color blends were happening on the card so everything kind of matched and coordinated together. I'm attaching the rhinestones with Multimedia matte. This card is done, and it is perfect to send to someone that you want to encourage to follow their dreams. I hope you enjoyed this card and learning how I did the stencil technique with the bitty blender brushes and also the happy medium. You can find all of the supplies that I used to create this card at tailoredexpressions.com. Thanks so much for joining me, everybody, and I'll see you next time.